Hey Scorpio, this is your general tarot reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of December. Scorpio, let's do this. What we always do, we'll shuffle the cards and we're going to wait on all the right ones to come out for you, my love. And in the meantime, let's talk about the energy that you may feel throughout the month. So, lessons have been learned, things have been experienced as we leave November. The influence of the Gemini full moon has made its effect known. It was a full moon in Gemini in your 8th house, where things are transformed, where there are some crises even. So a lot of fear or doubt or emotion could have been put into a crisis situation, maybe a crisis that was brought by your partner or by somebody very close to you that you had to deal with, that you had to go in and try to unravel on their behalf. So it's almost the feeling of you worrying on behalf of somebody else, but that comes to an end, this thing of you worrying more than another person is worrying about their crisis. And so that's a good thing. There may have been a moment of communication too, where you had a conversation with somebody, or you spoke to somebody, or you overheard something, where you had some correspondence even with somebody who took out some of the fear or the big heavier feelings around some crisis situation. Something was transforming, and I don't know, I just get the vibe, Scorpio, that it was a case also of you having conversations with somebody or connecting with somebody, and then after a while just suddenly realizing this person just always seems to be in a state of calamity. Calamity Jane, Calamity John, whoever they are, they just always seem to have one problem after another. And I can't worry anymore about their problems. I can't worry on their behalf anymore. It's just too much to expect me to do. In some way, there could be a kind of pushing back from somebody that you were very, very bonded to also, that you're kind of putting a little bit of distance between you and another person who just maybe took advantage of your kind heart in some way, or who just didn't listen to the good advice that you were trying to give them. So you said, okay, you want me to help you, but you're not listening, so I'm just going to have to step away and do what? As I always say to Scorpio, let them fix their own mess. Now, when it comes to other things, for some of you, not all of you, some of you, Gemini rules the hands and the lungs and so on like that. Some of you could have gone through a period of anxiety, or even having, I don't know, things like tendinitis or strained wrists or something like that, where it caused a bit of an impact with the work that you were doing, perhaps, you know. So that's for some of you, not all of you. But it seems that the worst of that is coming to an end, you'll be glad to know. Now, when it comes to money, some real concerns that you had about your long-range money, maybe money that was like to do with taxes or insurances or so on like that, investments and so on. It just seems that the worry has been taken out of it through something that you've learned through having a conversation with somebody, or just randomly finding out some important piece of information. Some of the worries are taken out of your financial issues. So that seems to be a good thing. I don't know, maybe you found a way to save a little bit of money, put a little bit of money aside, or 8th house has a lot to do with other people's resources. Maybe there came a point where you severed the dependency or the fear or the worry of other people's resources. Maybe if it's your partner, you probably said, look, okay, I understand that I can't really count on your support, be it financial or emotional, some support. So I'm just going to go away and not depend so heavily on the support from you. And what am I going to do? I'm going to do what the sun wants me to do. I'm going to stand on my own 2 feet and make a plan on how to make my own money, how to sort out my own problems when it comes to any financial things like that, and how to start attracting money to me. Yeah. If it was a case where you were very dependent on other people's money, maybe your partner's money, maybe money that was supposed to come through, you know, I've been waiting on this money, it's not coming through. Well, The bright spark, which is the sun, comes and says, no, you start attracting the money. You start getting your wonderful genius ideas together and make it happen. Build your own solid financial foundation and bring value to the things you do. And also, I was just saying there, sorry, your hair went there in my nose. I was just saying, bring value to the things that you do. That's very important in everything, in your relationships and the work that you're doing, the creative projects. It's all about building up your own self-esteem now by building your own inner sense of value, your own inner sense of worth, which in turn makes you become almost like an attractor of wealth, an attractor of good things, solid things, meaningful things. So that's where the sun is at. It's in your second house where the spotlight is on money. Now Mercury has been retrograding in Sagittarius in the second house. So you did at some point, maybe at the end of November, have all your mind totally on the issue to do with money. But you came up with some great ideas, it seems. And I think some of the greatest ideas you came up with involve you, the work that you're able to do, standing out a little bit, because on December 1st, Mercury moves into Scorpio. He's retrograding there until December 6th. So there's a shift where you're saying, it's like, what can I do about my financial situation? Where can I go? What are the great ideas that could come up? You found some great ideas and now you're really making it happen. You're promoting something, you're putting your face to something, you're standing out and selling something, you're sharing some great ideas that are so you, that you've developed, that you've created, that you've designed, that you put your face to, as I said. You have your little signature underneath. It's all about your ideas now. Those things and self-promoting to those things seem to be where it's at for you this month, Scorpio. So Mercury is direct in Scorpio in the first house. So you're learning also the art and skill of how to get your point across, how to get your needs across. It's just you're on fire with your ideas. You could be brainstorming, but certainly you're putting yourself out there to communicate and connect with people so that your brilliant ideas and your ability to communicate your brilliant ideas get out there and are seen. It's all about, I'll say a lot of it this month is about self-promotion, getting out there and showing people your ideas, as I said, because Venus is also in Scorpio in the second house. For those of you who work in some sort of glamour industry, beauty industry, or in the financial industry, this is a wonderful time where some of these new great ideas that you have can be put out there to make money. Yeah, and certainly whatever it is you're doing, even if it's not in the beauty industry, fashion industry, or the financial industry, it does pay off this month, Scorpio, to look good. Venus takes great pride and pleasure in her appearance this month for you. So if you have to change up your style of clothing, if you have to just look smarter than usual in some way, so that you stand out. You remember I said it's about self-promotion. It's about the whole point of this month is that you are out there with your ideas, with your ability to make money, with your beauty, making it all happen. Yeah, there's only 2 cards yet, so I'll keep going. Now, we have the new moon on December 7th in Sagittarius in your second house. So again, it's this idea too about changing your whole perspective and perception about money. Maybe there has been that shift from feeling that you had to overly depend, as I said, on other people too much, on your clients, on your partners, on investors, on people pushing you along, that you depended on their energy to bring money into you. Well, now you're saying I'm going to be more proactive. I'm changing my perspective. And also I'm going to be a little bit more optimistic. Yeah, I'm recording these during Venus retrograde, so it's all a little bit optimistic right now. Yeah, optimistic. It's about being optimistic about your finances, and also about your self-esteem and self-confidence, because you're now looking good, because you're the one bringing the big ideas to the table, because you're a game changer in so many ways this month. Your confidence returns, and it kind of adds to your ability to be more optimistic, and it also supports you. You're supporting yourself as you go along with your vision for where it is that you want to go financially. Sagittarius always has a vision of where they're going. They always have a target and shoot for it. And I think under the new moon on December 7th, really a lot of the energy would be very beneficial for you to find your real target, believe in it, and make that your new faith almost, that I believe that I can set new targets and goals financially, and I'm going to make it happen because I trust it, I believe it, and I'm going to be very optimistic about it. Yeah. Now, Mercury does change again then on December 12th, and it goes into Sagittarius also. So you see your mind is shifting now even further. It's going back into these great ideas that you have about how to make money, and probably now running with it. So that's a wonderful energy. So that's very, very nice. So December 21st, Sun goes into Capricorn in your 3rd house. So this is where you're being lit up this month, around December 21st. You're being lit up with your communication. Get out there, network, meet and greet people. Now Saturn and Pluto is also in the 3rd house, and they're saying, come on, this is a real moment to test your communication skills. Are you actually speaking up? Are you saying what it is that you want? Are you a communicator boss? Can you just say it and it happens? Have you mastered the art of communication? Because you've been under pressure to do that. You've also been under pressure to master, the ability to even manifest things through just speaking it into existence. Sometimes it's like that. But the ability to communicate, really, the Sun is saying, let's see, we're going to put the spotlight on you, and let's see if you can talk a good talk. For some of you, it could be a time where you get to stand up and share your ideas in front of a public space, in front of a group of people, public speaking, having to stand up and present your idea, or literally just having to stand up against somebody too, and saying, look, here's my vision of where this all should be going. This is how we can make money. This is how I deserve to be paid. This is a promotion that I deserve, and here are all the reasons why. So self-promotion could come in that direction in your career for some of you, where you get to stand up and say, wait, I've thought about this. I've looked at what I bring to this space. I've also seen that I could be earning more, and here are all the reasons why. So you get an opportunity to do that this month, Scorpio. It's very powerful, but certainly meeting and greeting people this month is the way it's at. And if you're invited, because this is the holiday season, if you're invited to holiday events, do go, because you might meet some very interesting groups of people, networks of people that just, add a little bit of illumination on something for you. Maybe the information that they share with you could be very, very important. So get out there and make it happen. December 22nd, there's a full moon in Cancer in your 9th house, which could mark the end of a period of study for a lot of you. Yeah, okay, December. A lot of people are doing their exams, finishing up their courses of study. And this could be a real moment where you just say, I'm closing the books. I'm finishing off. I don't want to even look at study anymore. That's for some of you. And for others, it could be a period where you just kind of finish up a period of travel. Maybe some of you have to do a bit of a long distance travel to make it home for the holiday season. But it seems that the stress or the worry about doing that is finally over. Now, ninth house is also quite spiritual. It is where we have our dreams and our visions and our optimism for the future. So this could mark a period, as a bunch of cards come out there, where you kind of finish up with one way of seeing what you're doing in your life. A whole perspective change could be coming for you, where you do really leave behind some ideas you had maybe about your family, some ideas you had about your whole way of seeing the world in general. You might just say, that's been stressing me out. That's been making me worry unnecessarily. I think it's time to just maybe change my perspective a little bit, so I'm not always so worried about what I'm seeing when I look out there. You know, that kind of thing. Sometimes we look out into the world and the things we see on the news or so on can really make us get all stressed out and kind of make us not feel very optimistic. But I think you're beginning at the end of the month to kind of say, I'm not going to let other people feed my mind unless they're bringing something positive into it. So yeah, it's a wonderful moment where you're getting rid of some of the unnecessary or negative viewpoints out there that colour your world somehow. So that's quite nice. Now, Scorpio, what I'm going to do, we're waiting on 2 cards and I'm going to choose them. I chose a good one. Your world is changing, as I said, yeah. Your whole point of view is also changing. You're seeing things differently, completely differently by the end of this month. So we've all the cards we need, Scorpio. Let's go over and look at the big ta-da overview. So we begin with the Chariot now on a literal level. This is a Cancerian card. You could be opening up the month really feeling some vibe from a Cancer. It could be positive, it could be negative, but either way it's a challenge, okay? Because we've got quite a challenging energy here beside it. Some of you could be involved in a real bit of gameplay with the Cancerian, that they seem to be, I don't know, they seem to be stepping on your toes a little bit, and you might have to put them back in their little corner. And you'd be the right person to do that, Scorpio. That if they're coming at you with some challenges, if they're being overly competitive also with you, there could be a moment where you have to really address that and bring it back to a sense of reality, bring it back, have a few words, in other words, a few words need to be said. Now, there was the moon in Gemini at the end of November, and it still filters in a little bit the effect of it into December. And Gemini is somebody who has mastered the skill of words and communication. They can weave a wicked word or two to just make things be seen in their light. So there could be a moment where you have to really engage in some wordplay, some I need to step up, I need to speak my mind, I need to have words with maybe a Cancerian. But also too, when you see yourself out there with these wonderful new ideas that you have, wonderful new projects perhaps to make money and also to build up your self-esteem, there's a real element as we enter this month, Scorpio, where you're saying, I will never let anybody take my self-esteem away again like that. I will never let anybody speak to me like that again. I will never let anybody twist words like that. Sometimes the energy here could be of having to deal with a very tricky person who twists and turns words that can make you feel very, very emotional. They can trigger you in some way. And you're saying, I'm over that. I'm moved so past that. And I'm just focused on my success. Because dealing with this issue, finally having a real moment where you say, you might have tricky words to say to me, or you might have all the right answers, or so you think. And I've stayed silent during some chaos, perhaps, that another person might have brought. But this time you're biting back, and it gives you a sense of success. It gives you a sense of being able to move on and get into your chariot and drive away, really, to literally move on from some words, people that are just all talk, but their talk can sometimes carry a little bit of venom inside them, but you're just not dealing with that anymore. Yeah. And what are you doing? You've got these, the reason you don't have to deal with that anymore, because you've got these great new ideas. You've got new plans, new projects, new things that can bring you into the future, especially creative things, but also in terms of your communication, Scorpio. You're more ready this month, so it seems, to speak up, to say what you want. These are my ideas. They need to be done. This is what I see going to be happening. I need to implement it. I see myself earning this amount of money. I need to start that. I need a new group of people to network with. I need to run with that. And you really are. You're running with something new and something passionate. You're charging ahead with something that you're very passionate about. And I love to see that, Scorpio, because it takes you out of the heaviness that's been happening recently. I mean, heaviness has been happening for all the signs, but you've kind of felt that it has been extra heavy, that maybe you have lost your momentum a little bit in getting out there and making your plans come true. But now with Mercury in Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio, it's like all systems go again. I'm back. Scorpio's back in prime position, and I'm running with it, because for too long this horse has been eating hay in a stable. It's time to drag it out and get running and moving again with these wonderful new ideas. Absolutely. Now, somebody, when it comes to children, I'm going to say this too. There's a lot of activity going on in your 5th house this month about creativity, about running ahead with projects, about running ahead with projects that are almost like dream projects, things that you've always wanted to do, but felt, oh, well, there's no room to do that. I just better get along and do the real work of bringing in the money. There's an opportunity here this month for you to do something very pleasurable this month, creative, something that really entertains you and perhaps even entertains other people. Something that allows you to express your talents, your skills, that there could be a great moment here for you this month to run with that. But I was going down the road also of saying 5th house is to do with children. And some of you could be now really communicating your needs to children. I need you to clean your room. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. So there could be some words being said. I need this to be more organized. I just need something from you kids. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, but it does seem quite positive. So apart from needing them to be a bit more organized in the things that they do, for those of you with children, there's also the energy of you having great communication with them, opening up your ideas with them and sharing good quality time with children, for those of you with children or even nieces and nephews. The energy with children this month is quite positive and is quite sweet, actually. So there's some great success there around all things to do with children. And this is also the card to do with welcoming new children. Yeah, the theme and topics of conversation could be about new children, or even talking about bringing in and welcoming in a new member of the family, and, running with that idea and making plans for that to happen. So that could be for some of you, and if it is, I wish you every success in making those beautiful plans, perhaps for welcoming in new children, a beautiful and miraculous reality for you. I hope it really works out. Now, we're moving on to mid-month now, and here we have a marriage card. I know a lot of people get married during the holiday season. Could it be you? Could it be that you're invited, that you get a message that somebody has decided to get married, or somebody has decided to make a real commitment that you seem to be quite happy about? The messenger brings good news about A marriage, yeah, sure. Or about making something in your life more rock solid. So this is Venus in Aries style card. Aries is about the self, about being independent, and Venus is about making money when you become more independent, which does reflect the thing I said about promote yourself more this month. Get out there, look good, change up your appearance, change up your style of speaking where you're more confident to ask for what you want. And this in turn brings more solidity. So Venus wants you to feel more secure in yourself, essentially. And some good news could come to you that allows you to have that. That's why I want you to get out and network and meet and greet people this month, Scorpio, because somebody could bring news to you that gives you that sense of confidence and makes you feel like you're working towards something really positive, particularly financially. This card is also quite a Gemini card. We call this sometimes like the card of spying. Really, it's the card of social media also. So you could find yourself getting some, I don't know, like insider information about something that brings you a sense of peace, that gives you a sense of comfort. It could be, you know, if you've had very stiff competition going up against you in the things that you're doing creatively or in your workspace, you could find out some news from somebody, or even through social media, find something out that kind of makes you think, well, I've the upper hand now, or I know something now that I didn't know before that makes me feel more secure. Yeah, but do be mindful this month. This could be the energy of somebody trying to figure out your plans, trying to figure out what you're up to before you're ready to maybe unclose or reveal what it is that you're doing. It's like there's a moment where you could have, for some of you, this great big reveal, launching something also, and somebody is really trying to figure out what it is that you're up to, but you're saying, you just have to wait. I'm just going to be more grounded, relaxed with the things I'm creating, and I know you might be wanting to know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to play my cards close to my chest this month, particularly, as I said, for those of you creating something. Now, I'll just go back to one literal meaning here too. If there is a lot of fun and pleasure and emphasis on having good vibes and good feeling with people this month, which there certainly is, and connecting, doing things that are fun, you could be doing that with an air sign. Air sign is Libra, Gemini and Aquarius, because there is a lot of air energy as we start off the month here, and doing things out of a sense of pleasure. Yeah, let me see, just other things. I'm just looking down here. It just seems all through the month. Some of you could be going to concerts, going to events, going to parties, going to weddings that you may get an invitation to, or something, a housewarming even, or it is the holiday season. So there's great fun and pleasure this month in all things that you're doing, and that's why it might pay off also to really have a good look at your image. Get your clothes ironed, pressed, whatever it is that you have to do, and get yourself looking good, because there's a lot of good vibe happening when you're out there showing yourself off within a group of people, within a place of entertainment also. So work it, Scorpio, work that magic. Now, mid-month, I'm going to say that something unusual might happen. This is the card of being very bonded to somebody, feeling that they're your soulmate, feeling that you're connected on such an incredibly deep level. And beside that is the card of feeling the opposite, feeling disappointed, let down, sad, feeling that you've been really, really hurt, that somebody has just let you down big style and hurt you big style, and almost to the point where you feel it's not working here, this is just not worth it. So earlier on at the beginning of the reading, I touched upon a thing with the moon in Gemini in the 8th house, where you could have been looking at somebody that you've been very close to. It could be your partner, somebody that you really love, or a very close friend, somebody that you've just felt like a soulmate, a total brother, sister, somebody that understands you deeply, your lover. so connected, and they let you down mid-month. They let you down. And I'm just trying to figure out how they let you down. I'm going to pull one more card because we move very quickly on to some other... Okay, a bunch of cards came flying out. Let's get clear about how they let you down, because it's turned. Something has turned within the relationship. Your luck is changing for the better. And they don't seem to be moving on from some situation, and you're saying, I can't deal with you anymore. I'm moving into a period of growth. I'm moving up. And it's just an extra responsibility to take on with this person, because they're always communicating something out of a very mean-spirited place at times, that they're not generous with their love. Maybe they're not even generous with their money. There's a lack of grace. There's a lack of generosity of spirit from somebody. And you're moving on, as I said, and you're just, every time you try to talk and communicate with them, maybe try to come up with some great ideas of how to get them out of a financial problem, you just feel that it's a burden, because they're not listening to you. They've just shut down everything, and it disappoints you. I think that's what it is. And it comes a moment where you're saying, I'm putting too much effort into helping them with their problems, and they're not helping themselves. And I want to get to the point where I go, oh, I don't care, why bother, you go fix your own mess. But it really does bother me, because I deeply care about this person. I really love them. But yet I can't stick with them when they're so negative, when they're not letting me in, and when they're making me carry a lot of their responsibilities and burdens too. Okay, but towards the end of the month, it does change. It does change around the full moon also. The full moon triggers something off, really. And the full moon is fire, Sagittarius, all about the money, the new insights and wisdoms, the new secrets that you learn, the new spiritual fire that comes up in you towards the end of the month. It's all about making money, but also about separating yourself a little bit from people who are dragging a lot of energy away from you, where you're losing power and energy, and putting more fire and authority now into getting out there and making your financial dreams come true, and trusting. Trust, I'm really going with this, Scorpio. Trust is everything. So what if it's been a long time since you've really made big money? So what if it's a long time since you've done a project that you're deeply passionate about, and you're worried maybe, will it make money? I know how to make money doing this, but I don't know how to make money doing something that is so me. You know what? Release some of the fears. Release all of the fears about this, Scorpio, because the energy of money, and look, fifth house running through you this month is all about taking a risk, taking a chance. And he's a real risk taker, and he's going for it. Now, a lot of these risks could be tamed and calmed a little bit and tempered a little bit by the coolness of the new moon, and by your own energy saying, okay, I'm going to take calculated risks here, and I'm going to trust that they'll pay off. Because when you do, Scorpio, what do you get? You get the world. There is this huge energy of you, as I said, the full moon in Cancer, changing your perspective, changing your world, suddenly waking up and saying, I'm going to just see everything differently from now on in. I've been surrounding myself perhaps with a lot of people who are just not getting out of a negative funk. They're dragging me down. I love them deeply, but their energy is making me sad. It's just draining me. And I need to kind of pull back a little bit, be more independent, trust my own ideas, trust my own abilities, trust my own skills, trust my own talents, trust that when I speak up and demand that I'm worth more than this, then it happens. And I'm running with it, and the new moon is going to open this up for me and allow these dreams, the financial dreams that I have, to take over. And it will be totally backed up by the sun, who wants me to take my communication seriously, who wants me to feel more empowered because Pluto, my ruler, is in there also in the 3rd house. Saturn taking my communications, my ability now to network, get out there, share my ideas, go on social media and tell people what I'm doing when the time is right. I can do all of this and really see my world in a whole new way, despite how other people around me seem to be constantly going through negative vibes and constantly being beaten down. It doesn't have to be me. I can see past this. I can come out of that and move through it and walk, look over my shoulder and say, okay, I haven't forgotten you. I know you're all going through a negative vibe, but watch me walk. Watch me change my world. And maybe when you see me change everything around, you'll follow me and you'll follow my lead. You'll follow where I'm going. I'm doing this. It's almost like this feeling of the things that you're doing aren't just for you, which always breaks my heart about you, Scorpio, because you never just do anything for you. You always do it for the love of the people that you love too. Yeah, getting emotional when I think about that. But it's you saying, look, I'm going to lead the way here. I haven't forgotten you. I'm looking back as I'm walking through. And when my world has changed, when the hard work that I'm putting into something finally brings in the coin, ka-ching, I will bring you with me. I will bring you into this new space. So it's a radical shift of your perspective. It's a radical shift in your world this month. That means that you have to be the forerunner. You have to be the leader. You have to be the one that makes this happen. And that walks through that ring of fire in some way, because you're walking through into a space that's an empty space, but not empty because it's an empty space. It's empty because it's waiting for you to bring your magic to it. It's a blank canvas. It's a new world. It's a new space where your magic. We've 2 people here in the underworld bringing deep magic from the underworld. The goddess, Sumerian goddess Inanna, saying, thank you, Persephone. I'm going to take the magic that you've shown me, the deep wisdom you've shown me, and I'm going to transform everything in my world and bring in the coin and change my appearance and just get more confident in the things I'm communicating and the things that I need. It pays off. The hard work and the vision pay off. Scorpio, I adore it. I love the energy. I love the vibe you're going to experience this month. It's powerful, really powerful. Now, what I can do here, as I've done last month, is I can go deeper into this through the deep read videos that we launched last month here. If you want to focus on themes of love, relationships, looking for love, family, your career, and so on. If we want to dig a bit deeper, Scorpio, I have it all linked below to get into the deep read. They're long readings that focus on specific themes. And I do want to say also, thank you very, very much to all of you who came along for the very first ever deep read last month. I really appreciate it, Scorpio. It was great to have you there, and I appreciate very, very much your support. That was fabulous. So thank you for that. And Scorpio, I am going to leave you on this wonderful, high, fabulous energy that you're going to experience, and enjoy it, and enjoy all the fun that seems to be running through the energies this month. And have a wonderful festive season. Happy holidays to all of you celebrating this month. And Scorpio, I'm going to leave you with a big, big, big kiss. Mwah! And all my love. Until next month, my darling. Bye.